Dave, what brings you out to SEMA this year?
Well, I'm out here to sign autographs here at the Subaru booth and just check it out and see what's going on in the car world, so it's good.
Now, since you've gone and gotten in the race car over the past few years, the whole concept of safety and seating, how has that progressed when you've driven a street car for so many years?
Yeah.
And now, what's the change? What's the essence of you need something very different?
Well, I think that that's a pretty easy answer. I mean, RECARO, and that's something that, I have two daughters. Me growing up, I obviously drove street cars, did what you did, but then you realize, when it came to, protective seats, head protection. I mean, I learned from getting into rally and driving with RECARO out in the forest, and then in rallycross. But even before, just the whole cool thing was to, relate down to my kids and their car seats, and I think that's the coolest thing.
We always talk about, the seat being the connection between man and machine.
Yep.
So if there was one, when you look at RECARO, and you've got, pro racer Hans in the race cars.
Yes.
So, I mean, when you think of RECARO, you're thinking styling, you're thinking speed, you're thinking comfort, safety. What's the one thing that when you actually strap in, that comes to mind?
I would say this, the closest thing to me is the seat. So that's the last thing that, is going to get hit before I get hit. So, very confident in the protection, the seating we have, and that's what's so rad about RECARO.
We're here to protect you, and we appreciate it, and the feedback's always good. So.
Well, that's cool, and that's why, like I said, I wouldn't let my daughter sit in any other seat. So, if that doesn't say enough, I mean, me, I'm a little reckless, but no, it's cool.
You can be reckless. We'll keep you safe.
Exactly.
Amazing RWB Porsche that's already been an award winner. Mark, welcome. How's SEMA been going for you?
It's been going great. Lots of attention towards this car. Doing something unique at SEMA. I mean, people totally they're so attracted to it. So I think it's been super well received.
So obviously it's an amazing and wonderful car. Can you tell me, what have you done to the car?
All right, so we built the car with a company out of Chiba, Japan called Rawell, RWB for short. They build one-off cars. A guy named Nakai, he actually does all the work. It's pretty awesome. I mean, of course, I did the cage, the interior. The cage was built by FF Tech as well. The engine was as well. But Nakai basically has created this look in Japan, and I wanted to bring it to America, and this is the first car.
It's absolutely amazing. No surprise that it's already won an award.
Yeah.
But now my big question, Beats by Dre.
Yeah.
What's with that collaboration?
Well, so a good friend of mine, when I was at Nike, ended up being the vice president, and I sent him an email one day. I was like, hey man, let's do some cool stuff. And he was like, hey, here you go, let's do it. And then I sent him some designs, and then the headphones came out and people were pumped off it. So we're actually giving them away, so it's pretty cool, different.
So where do you go now? Where do you take something as special as this?
So right now, next week I'm gonna race it at Global Time Attack in Infineon Raceway. Just shake it down, try and get some really hot laps, fast times, and see how it goes.
When you think about the role that seats play, how do you think they integrate into you and the performance you have on a track, or if you're trying to teach someone how to handle a car?
There is, when I first started, I guess, modifying my own cars, really the first modification that I learned from talking to a lot of people in the automotive racing world was the seat. That was, before even modifying the suspension or the horsepower, it's about modifying the seat. And the seat is basically like your speaker when you're listening to what the car's telling you. And there's a definite performance match that needs to happen, not just tires to suspension to horsepower to brakes. It's the amount of grip the car has to the amount of grip the seat has. And that's a lesson you learn the hard way usually, but it's an important one.
So when you're on top here driving down a mountain in feet of snow, it's good to get some feedback and also know you're going to stay in one spot.
Yeah, the show that we did with Top Gear and the Evo was awesome, and that was in the snow, but usually in Top Gear we drive old pieces of crap. So when you're driving those cars and you're just bouncing all over, we did one in Death Valley where it was a Jeep with an open door and I almost bounced out of the thing. Not good, but that's kind of the polar opposite of like a RECARO commercial would be, a dude bouncing out of the open door of a Jeep onto the ground. But it's one of those somewhat overlooked components, but there are good companies out there, and you know, RECARO is one that even if you're in a really nice airplane and you look at the seat manufacturer, it's usually a RECARO. They're one of those companies that doesn't just do seats as a side job. You know, it's a specialty, and you can kind of tell that when you're in them.
This beautiful white V Coupe, tell me about the seats, because the RECARO, good, but
Right.
you know, how did you come about, you know, getting to the seat that we have in this vehicle?
Well, what we did, we try to work with the best manufacturers possible out there. We build high-end cars, high horsepower, so we're looking for safety, comfortability, and them to function as well. So RECARO is the seat to go with. RECARO also wanted to work with us on building a custom seat. We build custom cars. Got to have the custom seats to go along with it. So
Now the vehicle overall, I mean, inspiration, it's a phenomenal vehicle. So what was the inspiration for the vehicle?
Well, the inspiration of it was to actually bridge the gap in between high performance and alternative fuels. So this car actually runs on E85 ethanol. It's tuned to do that. It's also tuned to run on regular gasoline as well. So the project, it was a no-brainer to do as we're moving into the industry moving into searching for alternative fuels. It just made sense for us to do that. High horsepower, alternative fuels, you can't ask for anything better than that.
Yeah, so how many horsepower are we talking here?
We're talking 800 horsepower to the wheels and 800 foot-pounds of torque as well.
So where does D3 Cadillac go from here? You got your fleet of 7 cars, what's next?
Going to the racetrack. Get these things moving out there. So yeah, that's basically our big thing, is testing product on the track. We do a lot of cars that run track on the weekend, and the guys hop in them, drive to work on Monday. So our high performance, reliability, and now we're getting into fuel efficiency. So that's a big deal.
We're hanging out here at SEMA with our good friend Bucky Lasek. Bucky, what brings you out to SEMA?
Just hanging out with the Scion guys right now. We built this Scion TC to do some time attack and some wheel-to-wheel racing in NASA.
How is the transition to auto racing going so far?
It's been a long process. I mean, we've been talking for how many years, and I'm still in the process of making it happen. The transition's been it's been a good road.
So Bucky, I've seen a lot of your race cars over the years. What can you tell me about the Scion that you have here?
Well, this is basically a stock Scion TC. We stripped it, put some RECAROs in it, and we bolted a turbo to it. It's about curb weight, about 2,900 pounds. It's putting out about 280 horsepower, 6 pounds of boost. So it's relatively a street car. We put a cage in it, made it safe for the track, and factory car.
So we've got the Pro Racer Hans of ours in the car. Now what made you choose RECARO for this car and all your builds? Is it the style, performance, ergonomics?
It's not just the style, performance, it's how comfortable they are. Also the brand recognition, you know, it's a reliable company. It's the heritage in a RECARO. It's been around for years. It's just the best seat there.
We're here to keep you safe. So,
yeah, exactly. I got a wife and kids to go home to, so that's why I rock RECAROs. Hi, I'm Bucky Lasek from Encinitas, California. I choose RECARO because they keep my ass safe.